Bible because that's where we get our answers from. We get it from the Most High God, right? So we don't get the words out of Christ. What he has to say about lust. Go ahead, read.
Book of St. Matthew chapter 5 verse 27.
Right.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of all time,
right?
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right. So so Yahushua, who the one we call Jesus Christ, is saying we know about the law of adultery, right? Right.
But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her,
who does what?
Looketh on a woman to lust after her.
Right. Looketh on a woman to lust after her, right?
That have slack here. For slack this up. Verse 28.
Right.
But I say unto you, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her,
right,
have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Right. So Yahushua is speaking on adultery, which is a sin according to the laws of the Most High God. Yahushua further expounds on that, saying just looking at a woman who is married, because what is pornography? This is a man and a woman having sex, right? According to the Bible, sex has to lead towards marriage. So that woman is bound to that man. So if you're looking at porn, you're basically lusting after that woman because you're watching the act of adultery. You're committing the act of adultery by watching that porn. So according to the Most High God, that is a sin. According to Yahushua, who beautifully explains it, that is a sin. Right? So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, thank you. No problem.
I got Instagram.
Yeah, I followed you on my personal, but I follow you on Isaac, Jacob and Esau. Jacob became the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. He had 12 sons. Esau became the progenitors of the Edomite nation, who are the so-called Greeks, Italians, the Romans, Europeans today, right? The Amalek, the so-called Jewish man today. They descend from Esau. Right? According to prophecy, they were the ones who was set up by the Most High to oppress the Israelites because we broke the Most High God's commandments. Right? So that's why you see so much white on black crime. You see us going to slavery. This is prophecy that was supposed to happen to the Israelites in the Bible. All the Bible is just a book of it's centered around the Israelites, but it deals with nations of people. Right? The Most High God created all the nations on the earth. Let me get that right. The Most High God gave us all nations. The Most High created all nations on the earth. He chose the Israelites to be his chosen people. Out of all the nations on the earth, he only chose the Israelites to be his chosen people. Right? Every nation has their king, their lord set up. They have their king set up. Right? We're the only people who don't adhere to our own king, our own leader per se. Right? Every nation has their own. Go ahead and read that.
Book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 17.
Right?
For the division of the nation of the
Go ahead.
For the division of the nation of the whole earth.
So the division of the nations of the whole earth. The Most High divided the earth in different nations, right?
He set a ruler over every people.
Right? He set a ruler of all the people. So-called white people, they got Moneybag Joe. The so-called Arab man, they got their emperor. I believe I think they have an emperor or prime minister. Right? The Chinese, they have their prime minister. Right? All these nations have their own, king. Right?
But for Israel,
but for who?
But for Israel,
but for the 12 tribes of Israel,
it's the Lord's portion.
Is the who?
It's the Lord's portion.
It's the Lord's portion. So the Most High chose us to be his portion. Who is our king? Jesus Christ. Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? He is our king. Now, in the dispensation of time, over time, we lost that identity. We lost that knowledge that we have Jesus Christ as our king, as an Israelite. Right? Let me get Jeremiah 17:4. Right? Because to be an Israelite is not a religion. It's a bloodline. It's a nation of people. Just like I said, white people came from Esau, and all the white people descend from Esau. We descend from Jacob, who's changed to Israel. That's where you get the name Israel, right? So that's why you have a whole land of Israel that exists today, right? But that name was brought from the man Israel. Like if you deal with nationality, you don't deal with like doctrine like that, right? Go ahead and read that. Let me show you why. It gets that way. Go ahead.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Right?
For and thou, even myself,
Right.
shall discontinue from my heritage that I gave thee.
Right, so the Most High gave us a heritage. He gave us a nationality, but we discontinued from it, right?
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies
Right.
in the land which thou knowest not.
Right, so you guys are familiar with the transatlantic slave trade. Right, so-called black people came on ships, brought into America, the different islands of the sea to be what, slaves, right? To our enemies. So who would you say our enemies are? Was that enslaved? Who's the ones that enslaved? Right. I'm Esau's son. Exactly. Right? So we lost our heritage during that process of us coming here as slaves. Right? So what we come out here to do, we come out here to teach the so-called descendants of slaves, right, which is us, that you guys are the true Jews according to the Bible, the true Israelites according to the Bible. And the reason why we got into this captivity, into this state that we're in today, which is 28:15, is because we broke God's commandments. Right? The Old Testament still stands. Right? The New Testament, the Old Testament, the misconception of there's a misconception of the Old Testament and New Testament is two different testaments. They're all the same testament, right? Because we haven't been saved, because salvation is based on us being redeemed from our oppression, from our captivity. That's what Jesus Christ came to teach, right? Salvation for those who are oppressed. We can get into that too. But let me show you why we're in this, because let me ask you something. What would you say your nationality is? Haitian? Both of you guys Haitian? Right.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Leve yo.
According to the Bible, you guys will be from the tribe of Levi. You guys heard that before? I heard that. Alright, so according to the Bible, nobody are the Levites. The Levites in the Bible were the priests. The Levites in the Bible were the priests. Right? They're the ones who taught the laws of the Most High God. Right? Who set up the sacrifices. The so-called Old Testament. There were sacrifices that was sent, to burn the bullock and everything like that. That was our job as the Levites. Now, when you go to Haiti, what are we doing over there? We're doing voodoo, right? And how some of the practices of voodoo is sending up sacrifices, animal sacrifices. So that's just one piece of evidence. That's how you know that we're the Levites, right? What we're doing in Haiti, we're doing it on the opposite side. We're not doing it righteously. Right? When we did it in the Bible, we did it for the Most High, right? So would you say our people is on the highest state or in the lowest state as a whole? On the lowest state, right? Let me show you the reason why we're in the lowest state.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Right.
But it shall come to pass.
Right. So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites, right?
Thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God, right?
To observe to do all his commandments.
All his what?
Do all his commandments.
Right.
And his statutes,
right,
which I command you this day.
Right.
That all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
Right.
Shall come upon thee.
Right.
And overtake thee.
So all these curses were supposed to come upon the so-called Haitians, so-called Jamaicans, Seminole Indians, American Negroes, right? The Cubans, all 12 tribes, you're supposed to go through these curses, right? Let's find out what one of these curses are.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Right? Cursed shall thou be in the city. What's going on in Haiti right now? It's civil unrest. They're in the city protesting. The president just got killed. Right? This is evidence that, okay, whoever this person was supposed to happen to in the Bible, we have to see it today, clear as day. You see that clear as day, right? Look down the verse. because I mentioned about slavery, right? So did you guys know that slavery is actually in the Bible? Did you guys know that? There's more of the there is that kind of, it's really called indentured servants, but there's actually slavery that was prophesied to happen to the Israelite people because they broke God's commandments. Right? Let's go ahead and read that.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68.
Right?
And the Most shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Egypt again with ships. Now that word Egypt in the Hebrew, if you break it down to its simplest form, it means to bind, right? Bondage. Yeah, the word Egypt, it's Mizraim in Hebrew. So when you read that definition, it's to bind, bondage. So what it's saying here, because you guys are familiar with the Moses story, how he took us out of Egypt, right? So it's saying that we're going to Egypt again with ships. Now from Israel to Egypt, you don't need a ship to get there, right? So it's talking about a spiritual people. Let me get Revelation that
11 and 8.
11 and 8. Like, what that's talking about is a spiritual, right?
Book of Revelation chapter 11 verse 8.
Right.
And their bodies shall lie in the street
Right.
of the great city.
This is what we're seeing here. Dead bodies are in Haiti here, right? That's the curse that's gonna happen to our people, right?
Which spiritual is called Sodom
Right.
and Egypt.
Spiritually it's called Sodom and Egypt. It says Sodom also. Because what do we see here? LGBT is running rampant, right? And we know what the Bible says about being LGBT. Abomination in the eyes of the Most High. Deserving of death, right? So we're in spiritual time, right? Go back to
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68.
right?
And the Most High shall bring thee to Egypt again with ships.
Right? You read it?
By the whereof I spake unto thee.
Right?
Thou shalt see it no more again.
So we want to see our homeland again, read.
And there he shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Right, so we will be sold unto our enemies here in America, in the islands of Haiti, Jamaica, right? We'll be sold as slaves, right?
And no man shall buy you.
No man will save us, right? Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King tried to save us. Malcolm X tried to save us. None of those people work, right? We're still suffering here in America, right? So what do we got to do? We got to keep God's commandments. That's the way we get out of this state that we're in. We're in the lowest state that we're in. We got to keep God's commandments.